And what he said is, you are a celebrity. There's product here. Right here.
Hello, we're back.
Yeah!
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! A 2-week absence. Here we are back with a bang. Episode 5, I want to say.
6.
Is it 6? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I've been in my room doing nothing for 2 weeks, literally waiting.
Just stood by the phone, waiting for the news that there was episode 6 time. Well, here we are. It's been a busy 2 weeks, hence the lack of podcasts. We'll get into why, I'm sure. I am sure, because I've just looked at the running order.
Very nice.
Bit of a spoiler there. But how have you been, man? What have you been up to the past 2 weeks?
2 weeks? What have I been doing?
Big 14 days. Probably more.
A lot. I'll be honest, it's a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I have seen you on it a lot.
I'm back in the saddle, so to speak.
Ah, playing as Arthur, I assume.
My friend.
A close personal one.
He's overweight at the moment. I've been feeding him too much.
You've not been taking him out exercising enough?
Oh, nah. Well, after a certain mission, Arthur was feeling really low. He was just hanging around camp, being mean to everyone, drinking all day. Me choosing for him to do that.
Okay.
It felt right for his arc.
Just the way you've taken the character. What a game. I might replay that or something.
We can hit Red Dead Online.
I would hit Red Dead Online.
I love the mic, by the way.
The mic? Yeah, I've got a...
Yeah.
People can't see, but I've got a sock on the mic just to prevent any pops or bleeps or whatever.
It's very professional.
Yeah, we're a grassroots podcast. We're building it up. It's currently a sock mic. Maybe one day we'll be in a studio. Who knows? Right. We've got one comment from the past 2 weeks. No emails regarding the podcast.
Are you sure? Have you checked?
I check very frequently. I'll check. Check. Nope.
So yeah, the last one we did was the Tenet review.
It was. That feels like an awful long time ago now. We got a comment after that, which was actually based on one of the things you said.
Yes.
Now,
I believe I did.
Matt Furtado said, "Raw pasta? You're having a giraffe." Any response to this?
I'm used to this sort of response to my eating habits, especially giraffe-related puns. I get them a lot. And my response is, don't knock it till you tried it, and if you have tried it, well,
welcome to the club.
Exactly.
You're doing what you love.
Yeah, the club.
The pasta club.
Raw pasta.
Not cooked. Why would you want it cooked? Just have it raw.
It's tasteless.
Right, this is enough waffling about pasta. Should we get into the news? Because there's quite a lot. First,
quite a lot of news.
We discussed it last week. No, we didn't actually. That's a lie. Because we didn't do one last
week.
We did.
No,
Last episode.
We discussed it 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks, that's the one. Borat 2, as we record it, it's out tomorrow. As this comes out, it will be out. Which is really exciting. I'll be watching it midnight tonight, probably. I'm not a busy guy.
Wow. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah, my calendar's just full. But as you'd expect... Go on.
I'm sure the ad companies, need you to keep putting out articles so you can make the money.
Is Sacha Baron Cohen? So it's controversial.
Who?
Sacha?
Yes.
Yeah, just a guy. There was one controversy that I've seen, and I don't know too much because I'm trying to go in knowing not much. But from what I've gathered, he was interviewing a few Jewish women, old Jewish women, regarding the Holocaust.
Right.
And then since the time of recording, before it's come out, one of the women interviewed has died. And her estate is suing Sacha Baron Cohen and whatever company it was Amazon, because they've distastefully handled it, which isn't great. Whether we'll have to keep updated on how that goes, and also I'm quite intrigued to see how it plays in the film, whether they've done anything about it now.
I'll probably just cut it out.
Yeah, that would be the sensible move, but we will see.
Because they cut out Sarah Palin from We Are... Who is America?
They did.
America.
I was looking forward to that when there were rumours.
And I was waiting for that, and then nothing happened.
What a show that is! I'm so excited for this film.
It should be good. Oh, I was just going to say another thing that I've seen is about the Rudy Giuliani.
Oh,
Giuliani?
yeah. I did hear about this. I'm not sure what it was.
Apparently, there's a scene where Rudy Giuliani, who's Trump's lawyer, I think, there's a scene in the film, allegedly, where he's sort of fondling his crotch area in the presence of the actress who is pretending to play, because she's an actress, that's what they do, pretending to play Borat's daughter.
Yeah.
That's all I've heard. Obviously, like the Holocaust women scene. Remains to be seen what it's presented as in the film.
But it's not a great
but
look
we shall
from
see.
the outset.
No, hopefully. I mean, we'd like to see Borat and Sacha Baron Cohen really, hammering the establishment.
That's what I love. I just love seeing messing with people. It makes me laugh every time. I know it's not great, but it is quite funny.
It's childish, but it's good childish.
Well, Robbie Collin wasn't a fan.
Robbie Collin wasn't a fan. He gave it 2 stars.
Savage. I've seen mixed stuff about it. Your 2s and 3s.
I mean, I think it was never going to be as good as the first one.
Do you think had this COVID not happened, it would have come out in cinemas, or do you think it was always designed to go to Amazon?
Well, it was made during COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. I feel like any sequel that goes straight to streaming never quite has the hype of the original.
Oh yeah, it's never going to.
No, I think this will be forgotten.
But I think it will be, and it may even tarnish the legacy of the first one.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Although you do have to wonder, it's been 13 years. He wouldn't have brought the character out of this semi-retirement if he didn't have something he wanted to do with it.
I do agree.
But again, this is the sort. Next week, I think we'll have to sit down and talk about it because there's no way we're both not watching it.
I will be watching it.
I'll be watching it.
I regardless of whether or not it's good, I will watch it. I am excited to see it. Sacha Baron Cohen's very funny.
I'd like to think that in 12 hours' time, I will have seen it.
In 12 hours.
6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Hopefully.
I can imagine that you will have done.
So let's move on to our next item on the old agenda. Big Spider-Man 3 rumours.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, we already know Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's signed on.
Yes.
And the film's actually started filming now. It started filming in New York. I think New York, probably. Don't know.
How?
Last week. I don't know. They probably just got tested.
Oh, well, it's just that Tom Holland, I know, has been filming something else.
Yeah, we'll get on to that. Very nice. I don't think Tom Holland's actually on the set for Spider-Man yet. From what I've heard, it's just Aunt May's there, Marissa Tomei. They're just doing the supporting cast while Tom Holland's otherwise occupied in circumstances we'll get on to. However, there's two other Spider-Men that are rumoured to be making an appearance.
I saw this.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield apparently
Who are they?
are coming back. And,
who are they?
Oh, well, they're just Spider-Man and Spider-Man.
So we'll have 3 Spider-Mans.
There will indeed be 3. Maybe they'll bring in Miles Morales. There'll be 4.
Oh, who would you want to play him?
Oh, that's a very good question. See, people used to want Donald Glover, but he's already in the MCU now as Miles' uncle. So it wouldn't be him. I don't know. You've stumped me there. Who are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. I don't know whether they do it in this one, just because with these rumours about Maguire and Garfield, they haven't denied it. Sony came out and said no comment, basically. Which is as good as yes, probably. But it remains to be seen.
It's a good idea. I'd be behind it. Not that I've seen any of Tom Holland's Spider-Man films or any of Andrew Garfield's.
Have you not?
Nah, Spider-Man's for weirdos.
I disagree.
Oh.
I think
we have a laugh on that Film Blog UK podcast.
We mess around, we play, whatever. We don't care. Which actually leads us quite neatly onto the next item on the old agenda.
And what is that?
Well, this would be regarding one Thomas Holland. It's probably his full name.
The star of Billy Elliot.
Yeah, some people just call him Billy Elliot because that's all he's really known for. Although he's just been picked up in a role of something called an Uncharted film.
Ah.
Have you seen the picture
I've
of
played
him?
them.
Oh, have you?
I've seen the picture.
What do you think?
I've seen the picture and I've played them.
Oh, wow. You're really in. Yeah, what do you think of...
Yeah.
So, for context, the picture is tweeted today from Sony of Tom Holland on set. Is he on set with Troy Baker? Is it Troy Baker or Nolan North? On set with Nolan North, dressed up as Nathan Drake.
Oh. Yeah, and this is sort of a young Nathan Drake.
It is. It's, have they said when it's set, do we know?
Which is... I don't know when it's set, no. But if they're sort of sticking to the game timeline, I don't know whether it's planned, whether it's sort of meant to be a story that exists within the timeline of the games, but I imagine it'll be set between... Because we do see young Drake in the third and fourth games, in flashback.
Yeah.
So I imagine it'll be set between the young Drake we see in Uncharted 3 and the first game.
You would think so.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, and a lot of people have said that there was always a lot of buzz around Nathan Fillion for the role.
There was. He would have been good.
And obviously, Nathan Fillion did do an Uncharted short film, which was excellent.
Was it official?
No, it was just it was just sort of a fan-made short film, 15 minutes, but it was excellent.
Yeah.
But I'm open to the idea that they might still, hire Fillion.
It's not too late. There's nothing to say they won't.
If they do a sequel, if this is successful,
do you think it will
good,
be?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's interesting, I remember Tom Holland tweeted Neil Druckmann, so
they've got a rapport.
Had talks about the film. I don't really know. I have no idea what direction they're taking it. I can't even remember who's directing it, to be honest. Who is it?
Well, why don't I find out?
I think it is someone quite famous. I can't remember who it is though.
Why don't you talk about who's playing Sully?
Yes, and then a lot of people have
this is bad.
questioned the casting.
This is bad.
Of Nathan Drake's sort of father figure, his mentor in the criminal underworld, Victor Sullivan, Sully to his close personal friends. And Mark Wahlberg's been given this role, which is probably bad casting.
Terrible.
With a moustache, he'll look like the character does in the flashbacks in Uncharted 3. But
yeah.
That's about it. He's not really anything like...
He's really not.
Victor Sullivan. And it's quite baffling. But, Mark Wahlberg has shown his acting chops before.
I think someone like John Goodman would have been good.
It's too early to rule him out completely, but I'm ruling him out kind of. He'll be bad. But Tom Holland could be good.
Yeah, Tom Holland could be good. It's directed by Ruben Fleischer, who he did Venom. He did Zombieland.
30 minutes or less.
30 minutes or less. They're quite comedy-ish. Are they going to go down a...
It's not great. I mean, Uncharted's got a lot of laughs. He's a happy-go-lucky adventurer.
Who else is in it? And Antonio Banderas is in the film in an undisclosed role.
Oh, mad. I didn't know that. I assume he'll be playing the villain.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It'll be a good villain. Maybe they are. Maybe they're doing the first game the villain. Well, you think it's one guy, but then he gets. Sorry, I'm spoilers for Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
Spoilers for a 12-year-old game.
He gets killed, and then the real villain is this Spanish guy. So maybe they're doing that.
Maybe.
But I hope not. I hope not.
You want them to do something new.
I want to do something new. I want to see more about, Nathan Drake's a great character. I want to see more about his life.
Yeah. Now, there's not many good video game film adaptions.
No.
But hopefully this will be the one to break the duck.
Well, I really hope so. In the last few years we've had a couple of ones with, not that I've seen Sonic, but Sonic and Detective Pikachu have been,
They were successful.
They were successful, and most people said, they're all right.
Yeah.
As opposed to the usual video game adaptation, which is, this is terrible.
They've ruined it. The Super Mario Brothers route that some have gone down.
Mortal Kombat.
I didn't mind Mortal Kombat. I actually quite like both of those films. Although I've never played either of the games really, so I guess I've not got any attachment to it.
Yeah. Okay.
On to the next bit of news.
What's next on the agenda?
This is quite exciting. Well, I think exciting is the wrong word. Because I'm not excited, it's just intriguing. Jared Leto is for some reason is coming back as the Joker.
He might be better this time.
He might be. I just don't understand why. Why? First of all, why would he want to come back? Because everyone hated him in the film. Second of all, I don't understand how he's going to... It just seems... Oh, yeah, so he's coming back in the Justice League Snyder cut, for anyone who didn't realise. It sounds really overstuffed now. Because I know it's, what, 4 hours? But they've already got 2 hours of the film that they need to squeeze somehow. And then they're adding so many new characters to it. An entire plot. So I just think it's going to end... Zack Snyder's never been one for a nice, concise, brief experience that gets its point across and then ends. He's always one for...
300.
Yeah, okay, 300, but he made 3 hours of Batman v Superman. This guy lives off excess. I just think this is going to be so overstuffed now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I wonder... go on.
You are right. I don't know why Jared Leto would come back. He got slated... he got hated on.
He did.
And then Joaquin Phoenix has come in, and won an Oscar
Literally
for the
won an
same
Oscar.
role. So Jared Leto, I don't know why he'd come back. I don't know why they'd want him back.
No.
And I don't know why. I don't know why.
It just, to me, it just seems like... I'm sure Zack Snyder's a nice guy, but his DC films weren't successful. Now it just seems like he's doing everything he can to resuscitate them by shoving everything in one 4-hour miniseries that probably will just be as okay to bad as the rest of the DC films he did. But I mean, I'll watch it.
I won't. I will not be watching.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You've been stung too many times by Mr. Snyder.
No, I don't watch this film.
He's gone out this year, actually.
Man, I've seen 300 Man of Steel.
I don't like 300.
300 is not very
It's
good.
boring. He makes very boring films.
It's not gritty.
It's just style over substance is how I describe him.
Yeah.
That's all he goes for.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Now let's move. We're now onto the news area. For context, Ollie's put his mask up now, just to protect from corona while on the mic, which is very, very responsible, I say.
It's more of a neck.
Snood.
Yeah.
Like Carlos Tevez. Not much.
Yeah, I haven't got the facial burns.
No, you don't, to be fair.
Sorry, Carlos.
So we're now.
I'm sure that really hurt.
Sorry, Carl. These last 2 bits on the news, do you want to take the lead? Because you're the one that put them down. I'm quite curious as to why.
I put these on the agenda.
Yeah.
I just, I've been reading my own news. Huge news for any Witherspoon fans.
Any spoons?
Of which there are many.
Countless.
I know that. Reese Witherspoon will be returning as Elle Brown.
Mm.
I think that's the name. In.
Yeah.
If I say Reese Witherspoon, what do you think of?
Friends.
Really?
Yeah, she plays Rachel's.
She in that?
She plays Rachel's sister for a few episodes.
I don't think she does. I think you're wrong. I think that's Christina Applegate.
No, I'm absolutely certain I'm right. I'm so sure. So sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Whose sister's played by Christina Applegate?
Is she in Friends?
Yeah, she's in an episode, I'm sure. Amy Green. She plays another sister.
Ah, okay. Famous
Amy Green,
family.
2 episodes.
I don't remember her.
Yeah. I haven't seen the episode with Reese Witherspoon.
Well, have you seen Reese Witherspoon in
But
Legally
sorry.
Blonde?
Of course I haven't.
Not me neither.
I don't watch that kind of film. But if you do watch that kind of film,
Good news.
we've got great news for you.
Actually, it's quite bad news.
It's coming. You're gonna get the
Don't
the
panic.
last film.
It's on the way.
The last film in the trilogy is getting made.
For you.
Legally Blonde 3 will be coming out in May 2022.
So far away.
So that is only 17 months.
If I watch a Legally Blonde film every 8.5 months...
No, it's not. It's 19. It's 19.
Okay, if I watch a Legally Blonde film every 9.5 months, then I'll just about be caught up in
You'll
time.
be caught up. You'll be caught up, yeah.
Well, I might have to
That's
do
really
that.
exciting.
Do you know what they're about?
Yeah.
Any idea?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Basically,
She's
Legally
blonde.
Blonde is about this girl called Elle Brown.
Okay.
And She's a sorority girl, and she attempts to win back her ex-boyfriend, played by Matthew Davis, by getting a Juris Doctor degree at Harvard Law School. And overcoming stereotypes against blondes.
Wow.
This was kind of a plucky underdog.
A film with real heart.
A minority story.
I can't say I'll be watching Legally Blonde 3, to be honest.
We could watch it.
We could do a review of this in 17 months, 19 months.
Yeah, I'm sure. We might even be, allowed to sit next to each other in the cinema.
Fingers crossed, man. Maybe we will for this next one as well. The final bit of news.
Yes. Well, no. You won't be going to the cinema for this.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Jake Gyllenhaal
Good
I believe he's going to be working as a sort of producer, I think.
Okay.
On a new show
Mm.
called The Sun.
Is it about the sun in the sky?
No.
Oh, damn it.
The Sun as in my son.
Ah, yes.
My son! What's that from? I don't know. So Jake Gyllenhaal will be producing and starring, probably. I think it says that somewhere.
We'll see.
We've also... Denis Villeneuve is apparently involved.
Directing, do you think?
And so... I don't know. Possibly. But so are Westworld duo Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy.
Oh.
But it'll actually be run by Lenore Zion, who's worked on Billions and Ray Donovan, so a few
Big
HBO shows.
Yeah, this sounds like an HBO show.
Yeah, it's a Joe Nesbo novel. He's successful. He sees books in W.H. Smith a lot. Oh, but in the bestseller section.
It sounds like the kind of thing that is going to be very popular. It's going to be all over Twitter and Facebook, is what this sounds like.
Yeah.
I might watch. If it's got Jake and Denis.
Well, the story follows an escaped convict who's also an opioid addict who can't recall his past. He's on the run from the law, hurtling towards an unknown truth, apparently. I am reading this.
I assume that's to do with a son of some form. But who knows? It's got a good lineup.
Yeah, it's got a good lineup. Obviously, no cast has been announced, I don't think. I don't think it even says Jake Gyllenhaal will be in it.
Well,
he nabbed the rights in 2016.
Maybe he's just producing. Or maybe he read it and thought, wow, this could be me.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be in it.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
Him and Denis is a lethal combo. It's a 1-2 punch. So seeing them back again is very exciting indeed.
Yeah.
And that's your news. That's everything that's happened in the past 3 weeks. Every single thing that's happened, we just talked about. Which is pretty
Nothing else. We have left no stone.
This was an exhaustive list of the events everywhere for the past 21 days. On to the main section. The main.
Right, well, I'll leave you to it.
Well.
See ya.
I'll try and not go on for too long.
I'm cracking open, second can of something.
What would that be? We might be able to get a sponsorship.
San Miguel.
Oh, I'd love a San Miguel sponsorship.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be really good. I was trying to buy some beer before lockdown, but I forgot. I still got time.
I can get some delivered to your house, man.
Maybe tomorrow.
Iceland deliver for free.
They do. Same day delivery for free. It's an incredible business. Iceland.
It's got some great products.
Please sponsor us, Iceland.
That would be really great.
London Film Festival. The Festival. The Fest, as we called it. Oh, it was just this thing that happened. So yeah, that's what.
Were you there?
In spirit, I was there.
You went to London?
I didn't go to London. I primarily was in these four walls of my room.
How's Nelson?
His column?
On his column.
Yeah, he was just there. It was a pretty fun 2 weeks. So the form.
You must have been to loads of parties.
I
with
was
the press.
rubbing shoulders with so many people.
Go on.
So
name drop.
Ava DuVernay. I spoke to her.
Did you?
Well, I spoke to her in the sense I watched a talk that she did online.
Did you ask her a question?
It wasn't an interactive one. I thought it was, but it wasn't. So I just had it on when I was playing FIFA in the end. So I wouldn't quite say that I spoke to her. That's probably an exaggeration of the truth.
Yeah. So who were you rubbing shoulders with?
I had a few emails. I had a few emails with the support team when my stream wasn't working for the first film.
Oh no.
It was pretty crazy. All online. Well, not all online. It was I think there were 100 odd films on the programme this year. And
how many did you watch?
I watched 20, I want to say 25, region of 25.
God, I could have helped you out.
I know. It's a shame we couldn't get you on. Because
I
enjoyed it. And the format works well, but there were teething problems. It doesn't really work on Max, the website. I was watching Mogul Mowgli with Riz Ahmed, day one. Really excited. Got about 40 minutes in. I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. It crashed. Never saw the end of it. I then booked to see it in Showcase Cinemas Cardiff, only for my good friend Mark Drakeford to say, it's not going to happen, buddy. You're locking down. So I'll probably finish it one day. Who knows? But it was quite fun. It was pretty much non-stop. Most days I was watching something. It was just, I'm quite sad. When the first few days after it ended, I just felt a bit empty. There was nothing to really do. Because I was so used to waking up at 9, getting on the industry thing.
Yeah.
And I will go over a few films. I've picked 3 that I saw. These aren't necessarily my favourites, but I think they're very accessible. A lot of people would want to see them, and they're also all very good films. So I'll just talk about 3. I could go on for hours, but I don't want to bore anyone. So the first one is called Supernova. Now this is probably, out of everything I saw, the one with the biggest names in it. So
I heard a rumour the Tooch was in it.
The Tooch is, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, absolutely worthy of an Oscar for this. He is fantastic.
I don't know why I made that noise.
So it's him and Colin Firth.
Hot couple.
Yeah, he plays an American author who's been living in the UK for the past 20 years with his partner, who's played by Colin Firth. And Stanley Tucci's character has developed early onset dementia. And they kind of take this road trip to visit friends and family. And it becomes quite existential about his condition, what he wants to do, what his plan is regarding his condition, and how Colin Firth's character handles it and feels obliged to sacrifice everything for Stanley Tucci's character. And it's a really, really beautiful love story. I'm just going to pull up the old review I did. I think it definitely was, I think it was probably the saddest.
So you've posted the review?
Yeah. I gave it...
So the legions of fans will have already read your review?
You'd like to think so. Gave it a sweet 4 stars. You haven't read it? Wow.
No.
You think you know someone?
No.
Yeah, I actually say, expect total uproar if Stanley Tucci isn't nominated for an Oscar. His performance is but one gem in one of the year's most heartbreaking and unforgettable films, and it's all facts. It's got a spa in it, you know, the shop spa?
No.
They visit a spa, and that bit blew my mind. I've never seen a spa in a film before. I think that's really what made it stick out to me. It's just a very sensitive, very human. It feels very human and very real.
Yeah, I got that impression from the trailer when I saw the trailer.
It's the kind of thing I definitely want to see again. It's quite subtle as well. Tender is the word I'd say. The subject matter's obviously very sad, but they handle it in a really nice way that, I don't know, it leaves you feeling sad, but it's, as I say, it's very human, very, very, very moving. And those two, I don't think Colin Firth's quite as good as the Tooch. The Tooch just blows out the park, that guy does.
Really?
Colin Firth's good, but his performances are maybe a bit more understated, so it doesn't quite come across as much. Tusker is the name of Stanley Tucci's character. Great, really good. So that's my first recommendation. I think that will be coming.
And when can the likes of the common,
you regular people,
the common, when can us common folks see it?
That's coming out on the 27th of November, so a month or so.
Ooh.
And I absolutely recommend that one. This second one is called Possessor, and this is a horror. Very different, and this is coming out, I'll find out now, just to save time. Now this is directed by a guy called Brandon Cronenberg.
Oh, yeah. I know that name.
Yes.
Not the surname.
You might have heard that surname before. This also comes out on the 27th of next month, so that's going to be a busy day.
But he has done a film before, hasn't he? Antiviral.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything.
I did actually know that. I didn't just look that up.
Did you?
With Caleb Landry Jones, right? Is it that film?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Or is that something that, to be fair, that could be something else?
But obviously Brandon Cronenberg is the son. What?
Yeah, it's Caleb Landry Jones.
Oh, wow. Good memory.
Yeah, I remember when it came out.
Did you watch it?
It sounded interesting. No,
So,
I remember reading a review of it. I used to be subscribed to a certain magazine.
Maybe that magazine.
I went.
No names.
Hire me.
If they want us to mention us, they need to pay us. So, Possessor is very much in the vein of David Cronenberg body horror. And
oh, really?
Have you seen Upgrade?
What's that?
It's a sci-fi that came out a few years ago about a guy who gets in an accident and then gets a chip in his he's paralyzed and he gets a chip in his body that controls his body for him, and he gets superpowers basically. It's all right. It's directed by Lee Whannell, who did The Invisible Woman this year. The Invisible Man, in fact, is called, not The Invisible Woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But that's not really relevant. Anyway, Possessor. Brandon Cronenberg.
Tell me about it.
It is. It's kind of a pseudo future, not too different from ours right now, where assassins can kind of enter. It reminds me of Watch Dogs, where you can go into anyone's body and.
Well, the new lot, the upcoming Watch Dogs.
And also a bit of Assassin's Creed, because they kind of lie in this animus type thing next to the person they're entering the body of, and then go into their consciousness and control their body. Right. So that's kind of what assassins use now to pull off hits on people. They'll go in. There's a great opening sequence where Taz, I thought it was Taz, called Taz, who's played by Andrea Riseborough, who's really good, goes into the body of a waitress at a party to pull off a hit. And the film kind of revolves around one big mission she has, where she goes into the body of this guy called Colin, whose job is to kill some guy who's a business owner, played, funnily enough, by Sean Bean, who's called John Pars. Sean Bean isn't in it much, but he's really good. He's really unlikable.
I've heard that one before.
He's a gem, that man.
Does he die?
I'm not going to say. I'm going to keep my lips sealed because I want people to go and watch it.
Oh, class.
Yeah, it's got elements of body horror, but often it's more thriller based because it's not scary in the conventional sense. And oftentimes there are some really good body horror scenes, and the visual effects are great. It's not really CGI'd either. If you see the poster, you can kind of gauge what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's a pretty harrowing poster.
Yeah, I like it. I'm really intrigued. When does this come out? When can common folk watch?
27th November, and I think this is my favourite horror of the year.
What else has come out this year?
The Boy 2, Brahms. I actually watched that last night. It's got Katie Holmes.
What, Mother of Suri?
Yeah, she also plays Rachel Dawes in Batman Begins. Great performance.
Oh yeah. Which Rachel did you prefer?
Maggie Gyllenhaal. Come on, of course it's Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Maggie Gyllenhaal smashed out the park. I don't know why Christopher Nolan thought, Katie, you're done. But he made a good call. They should do a Batman Begins, a Justice League Snyder Cut-esque Batman Begins remake with Maggie Gyllenhaal. Reshoot every scene with Katie Holmes. It's gone.
Yeah, she's not that bad.
She's not bad, but it would be a nice bit of continuity. Anyway, Possessor. Not too much I want to say, because it's one of those films that I really think is best not really knowing much. But the person whose body, she goes into the body of a guy called Colin, who's the Sean Bean character is the father-in-law of this Colin guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now this Colin guy is played by a guy called Christopher Abbott, and he's really good in it. My main criticism of the film is it's structured as such that 90% of it is based around this hit where she's in this guy's body, which works in the sense it gets a really good performance from Christopher Abbott because he's playing someone who's inside a body pretending to be someone. So there's a few layers to his performance, and he's probably the standout performer purely because we don't actually get to know the lead Taz that much because we spend so much time in the body of this Colin guy, which isn't. I don't know whether it's a criticism or rather it's just the way they wanted it to focus on, because it does become quite an interrogation of identity and the lines between your job and you, and how fragile like your identity can be the moment it's challenged. And I think it's a really promising and enjoyable horror. Brandon Cronenberg's not done much before, as you say. He's done one feature film, so I'm hoping now he'll kick on from here.
Caleb Landry Jones.
With exactly, I'm hoping he'll kick on, make some more. Because I said it in the review. He's up there for me with Robert Eggers, Ari Aster. This new vein of horror. I think one more good film he can come forward with, and he's in the annals of contemporary horror masters. IMO. It's a big call, I know, but it's great. I'll give.
They're pretty good. Those other two you mentioned are pretty good.
They've dropped some alright stuff. It's pretty good stuff.
What's your favourite?
Midsommar.
Out of all those 4 films?
Yeah.
Nah, wrong.
What's yours? Lighthouse?
Lighthouse, yeah.
I haven't seen Lighthouse yet.
Though
I think I probably will because it's Robert Pattinson.
Lighthouse is so good. Lighthouse is objectively better than Midsommar.
I just love Midsommar. I thought it was so... I mean, we've talked about it before. I just thought it was so clever. Okay, last film. Last recommendation I want to give.
Okay.
This was my favourite film of the festival. It's called Herself.
Not heard of this one, actually.
Basically, it stars Claire Dunn. I've never seen her in anything before. She was really good. As a woman called Sandra, who's a single mother who's recently left her...
You have seen her before.
Have I? Spider-Man Far From Home.
Victoria in Spider-Man Far From Home.
How did I forget that?
How did you just remember then?
A good old friend of mine called Wikipedia. Really came in handy.
Yeah.
So yeah, she leaves her abusive partner and takes her 2 children with her. And she's kind of floating between jobs, struggling to get by as a single mother. Until she stumbles upon like a video that says it's kind of like a sales pitch type thing on TV about how you can build your own house for £40,000 if you like £40,000 goes towards the materials for the house and the labour. And then it becomes about her kind of building like a grassroots community of people that help her build her house. And I know from that description, it doesn't sound particularly engaging.
Right.
But it's one of the most uplifting films I've seen in a long time. It's such a beautiful story, and it's so, at times, it's really, really dark. It's directed by Phyllida Lloyd, who also did Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. You might have heard of that. Oh no, she did the first Mamma Mia, and then she did The Iron Lady. Neither of which I've seen, so whatever. But it's really emotional, I'd say. It moved me a lot. The performances are great. And when you kind of become really invested really quick in these characters, so when bad stuff does happen, it's really impactful.
Right.
And it's just very, very moving, very heartbreaking. Ian Lloyd Anderson is the name of the guy who plays Gary, her abusive ex-husband.
Ian Lloyd Anderson.
There's points in the film where there's like custody battles, and it also looks a lot into childhood, bringing up children when a single mother, and also kind of how an abusive relationship has more impacts than just on the person who was the victim of the abuse. I don't want to give anything away, but also just as like an allegory for independence, building a house, making your own home, developing and like prospering after such trauma. It's a really, really well done film. It's a really nice journey. And then, as I say, it balances the tone so well that the moment that something bad then happens, it's so devastating. But I'd put it in my review, and I stand by it. Best British film of the year so far. There's been a lot of good this year. Mangrove was really good. That's one I haven't mentioned. There are so many others I could talk about.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any of them, but I had a flick through what was going to be on at London Film Festival. Mangrove sounded really, really fascinating. That's on TV next month, so
I
only read about that recently. It's like an anthology, which is very, very exciting.
There's 4 more. I've seen 2 of them now. The second one was called Lovers Rock. That was the last film of the festival, which wasn't as good. That one's basically focused around a party. It's just the whole. It's not that long. It's like an hour and 25 minutes, all centered around this party in like 60s, 70s London. It was all right, but it just didn't. With the thing with Mangrove is it feels really important and resonant and interesting, and then Lovers Rock feels more of a hang-up movie where it's not quite about the plot as the characters and the setting and the atmosphere, which is fine. He's obviously going for Steve McQueen's obviously doing something different with that one, and the cast's really good. It's got Michael Ward, big fan of him. He's great in it. He steals every scene in that. It just didn't. For me, it didn't resonate quite as much. But again, it was still good.
Sir.
One Night in Miami. Sir, is he a Sir?
It's Sir Steve McQueen.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Neither was I.
Then I won't ramble on about any others. I will just say if you're looking for other recommendations, Another Round. That's what won Best Film.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I really enjoyed that. I think it was top 5, but those 3 I've said I just preferred more. After Love, again, that's about this woman. She's a Muslim convert, and her husband dies, and upon his death, she finds out that he's kind of got a whole secret life. They live in Dover. She finds out he's got a whole secret life in Calais. So then she goes to Calais to like investigate what the deal is. And I'm personally being very vague, but that was one of my favourites. That was actually up for a grant award where the director would win a £50,000 grant to go towards their next film, which I think After Love was my pick for it, but it didn't win. Ammonite I saw on the final day as well. Saoirse Ronan, Kate Winslet, which was quite good.
Is it good?
But at times just felt a bit mellow at points. I like the ending and I like its portrayal of their romance. It just felt a little bit bland at times to me, but I did like it. Rose, A Love Story. This is one I've not heard any conversation about. It was quite an interesting little horror. It's very small scale. Again, I don't want to give too much away. It's very atmospheric in how it builds up, and it's got a very small cast. You only really see 2 characters for most of it. It's very interesting the way they build that, and I think that's definitely one to watch. I'm certain that will be available soon on streaming or something. But yeah, that's London Film Festival. I'm going to do an article within this week. I've got a load of criteria like favourite performance, biggest surprise, blah, blah, blah. But those are a few recommendations from that. Before we go, hopefully next year we'll both be able to get on.
Oh, that would be an honour.
Because
maybe we'll be able to actually go.
Maybe I'll actually leave my bedroom for this next film festival. But it was quite unfortunate that was my first one. But I had such a good time. I'm praying I can get on next year. I'm praying we can get you on next year.
Oh, BFI said fingers crossed.
They did. I'll take that as a yes. They also messaged me that day asking if they could use one of my tweets for their closing ceremony.
Oh, mad.
So I was like, oh yeah, sure, but then they didn't use it in the end, but whatever. We're still in the BFI's good books, so. Yeah,
I mean that's a place you want to be.
It is. Next year, hopefully. This time next year, in fact, we could be discussing 65th edition. Oh. I'm sure I'm fingers crossed. As the BFI say, as we all say, fingers crossed.
I'll mask up. I'll go down there.
Yeah, I would.
Watch some films.
What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. BFI South Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before we go, we have got something we can finally talk about.
Sorry, that is my fault.
You've seen Bait.
Is that Bait?
That was not Bait.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen it.
True.
I've seen it.
What's your opinion?
Unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very good.
Very good.
I can't say I fully understood all of it, but I can't say I tried to understand it all. I didn't want to understand it all. I enjoyed it as a piece of art.
Yeah. You're definitely not meant to. understand it all. Well, I don't think anyway.
Yeah, but very, very interesting. Very different. Very watchable.
Very watchable. The performances are great as well. I haven't done enough research, but I'm pretty sure the main cast aren't like seasoned actors.
No.
I really like the work. It's the kind of story you've never really seen anywhere else. I've never seen anything like that. The way it's filmed,
100%.
the way the audio's like dubbed over. It felt like a really old film.
Oh yeah, no, it feels like an old film. I don't know why. I can't say I've thought about it enough to wonder what the meaning of that is, what the reason behind that is.
Well, I've got a theory if you want to hear it.
Well, of course I do.
So, obviously the film's all about like gentrification.
Of course.
My reading of that was this Cornish town is lost in time. They're in the sense that it becomes a conflict between the inhabitants and the locals who want to uphold these old traditions compared to the people coming in who want to modernise and rescale and set up and stuff. The tourists, that really snobby British family that come in.
Yeah.
Really, really unlikable.
Yeah.
But very well played. It definitely, the only bit I didn't really get was the end, at the very, very end. But also I found it quite unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
When I finished it, I had to walk up to my room. I just felt a bit uneasy. It stayed with me for a few days, that film did.
Yeah. No, I liked a lot about it. I liked the. I would like to rewatch it, to be honest. It isn't. I watched it with 2 days left before it went off all four.
Damn it! I'm sure I'll be back at some point.
But I liked that. Whenever any sort of moment of drama happened, we'd have these sort of quick cuts of the glass smashing.
Birds. I wouldn't say like seagulls, but
birds. Yeah, and you got the impression that this was. Well, actually, yeah. Now that you've said it first, now I'm thinking it. It's sort of stuck in time. It's the use of time in the film.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say? By showing events that haven't happened yet throughout the film at various intervals, it evokes a sense of timelessness and also inevitability. Which I assume we're not going to get into spoilers, but towards the end, what happens at the end, well, not right at the end, is inevitable. And only at the end had I realised that what I'd seen at the start was at the end, and I hadn't even processed that, because you see a shot of something at the start, and I thought, oh my word, the stakes are high, and then at the end I was like, how did I not realise that that's this character or whatever?
That was the progression. No, the start was very disorienting, which I feel like was on purpose, just because you're not meant to. I don't know.
Yeah, because you see
meant to get it.
You see a few times when the main character, whose name eludes me, is sort of walking with purpose down the street. And you see it several times. But yeah, like I said, definitely deserves a rewatch. But very fascinating work of art, really.
Never seen anything like it.
Maybe I'll try to get in touch with Mark Jenkins. We can have a discussion on the podcast about it.
He's liked one of my tweets before, so who knows?
Which tweet was
a friend of the podcast, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe this is where I tweeted about how much I like bait. So it made sense that he would have liked it, I guess.
Well, I'm going to tweet him right now on the podcast live.
Live.
We're going to live tweet
next
him
week,
right now.
Next week we'll update you on if we get a like.
Mark, it's Jenkin, isn't it?
Yeah, singular.
About me, he has an internet page. The listeners are enthralled right now.
This is podcasting.
I'll just tweet him publicly. I'll tweet him publicly.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I've got to follow him first, that way he'll, might see it.
Yeah.
Tweet him. Here we go. Hi, at Mark Jenkin, comma. We loved your film. Oh, I'll at Bait Movie as well.
Yeah, nice.
Hi, we loved your film at Bait Film UK. And we would love the chance to discuss it further with the man behind it all.
We're making moves.
Give us, brackets, at thatfilmbloguk, Yes.
We're in.
What should I say? Give us...
What are you thinking?
Or, I don't know. We loved your film. We'd love the chance to discuss it further with the man behind it all. Now, that's a bit like pandering.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
We'd love 20 minutes of your time on our podcast or something.
Now, I'll just put even 20 minutes of your time would be massively appreciated. Oh, here we go. I've got it. It's coming. It's coming into place by everyone at That Film Blog UK. And I'm using the @ in the Twitter thing as the ad. That's pretty clever.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, I'm a wordsmith. And
social media master.
There we go. Tweet.
Next week we'll let you all know if Mark gets back to us.
Yeah, this is our first genuine attempt.
You've heard it live on air.
Oh,
we're keeping all that in as well. Everyone gets to see what really goes behind the work.
Yeah. Well, we will wait and see. Maybe Mark Jenkins.
We will. That's a lovely ending, that is.
Perfect.
Right. Ollie?
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a great episode. It's been great to be back.
It's good to be back.
We'll speak to you next week. Hopefully we'll speak to Mark Jenkins next week.
Hopefully we'll speak to him in the next few days.
Oh, that'd be good. We'll be talking Borat.
What with Mark Jenkins?
Hey, if he wants to chat Borat, we can chat Borat. That's fine by me.
Yeah, it's up to you, Mark.
Just let us know, buddy. Right, Ollie, it's been a pleasure.
Always is. Stay safe.
See you soon.